Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is all going to be about the importance of what actually happens through impact and post impact. Now you might not think the movement after you hit the golf ball is important, but it's a real good concentration point. We can't hit the ball and stop at impact, but where we are just post impact and how we extend our body is vital for two reasons. One, it's going to help you improve your strike. So if you're someone who's hitting the ground before the ball, heavy strikes, this is definitely for you. And the other part would be if you're looking for more speed, more distance. A lot of golfers are losing out by keeping their body down too long through impact. Therefore, focusing on a simple finish position where our body is extending and moving upwards is really going to help us generate some more speed, and it's going to help us control, we call it the low point of the golf swing. So golfers who are struggling with strike, whether it's heavy or thin, which tends to be a reaction to don't hit it heavy, they're not controlling their low point very well, and their body tends to stay down too long. If your swing thought is keep your eye on the ball, keep your head down, it is definitely failing you and not going to work. We need the body to be moving upwards and extending correctly through impact. And I'm going to share with you some real simple drills and also a great swing thought that if I was working on this game, I would, or if this was my fault, how I would focus on it and take it to the course. Now, there's a number of ways you can do that, but I'd encourage you to do the drills and the exercises, and you'll find what's going to suit you the most. So we're really talking about how the body moves up. We need extension. If you've heard of early extension being a bad thing, it is. Early extension is when our body is standing up straight and our hips are going towards the ball too early in the downswing. So we need to be able to maintain some tilts in our posture, our spine angle, as we start down and apply some force down into that lead shoe. But as we come into impact, our body should be rising. Now that is actually true of the handle. It's true of the whole of the lead side as well. So our lowest point of our golf swing is, in terms of where our hands get to, is actually before, or should be before we hit the golf ball. So in this position here, when the club is at last parallel, that should be the lowest point of our hands. And our hands are actually moving upwards into impact, whether it's an iron or a driver. The reason that the iron is still creating a downward angle of attack for the majority of good golfers is the club is moving down even though the hands are moving up. So we're releasing those angles in our wrist. So the handle's moving up, the club is moving down. And actually, as the handle moves up, without going too much into this, and I have done some videos on it, I will put some links here that are worth checking out. But as the handle moves up, the club head will accelerate to catch up. So there's a power source. As our body pushes off the ground, there's a power source. Think about jumping. So as we use the ground correctly, we're going to generate some more speed, some more power. In fact, a drill without hitting. Then I'm going to do a drill from like a half swing before we get into the full shots. This drill, I'm going to put the club, the end of the grip here, into my sternum. And I'm going to then tilt forwards from my hips so the club is pointing down. It's not at the golf ball, a little outside the golf ball. I'm going to make what feels like a half turn of my chest, so like a half backswing, and I'm going to focus on the motion through impact. I want the club to rise. I want it to get to parallel to the ground on the way through, and I want to feel like that happens relatively quickly. If my head and chest stays down this way, the only way I could do it is leaving or letting the club move away from my chest, manipulating with the hands. So the chest has got to be moving upwards this way. If you struggle with back pain, it will probably be because you're staying down too long through impact, and we end up with this cramped position here. We need our body to... The next stage for me would be, well, let's make some little half golf swings and hold that finish position. I'd love you to actually hold even shorter if we could, so perhaps I could take off a few more yards here. But I want to feel like I'm getting that same movement with my chest. Now, it's not just moving up, it's rising and rotating. So to control the arc, the motion of our club, we want our body to turn as well. So it's moving up and turning. And I'm just going to hold that position just post impact. And at that stage, I want to feel like my chest has rotated 90 degrees and my body has moved up here. Look at the difference. If I get this wrong, if I stay down too long through impact, I'll do that little half swing again. Now I struck that well, but I've had to compensate by folding my arms. Because my body has stayed down, I've had to shorten the radius by doing this. If I actually extended my arms and stayed down, it's fat, it's heavy, it's along the ground, it's big divots. It's no good. It's not a powerful motion, is it, from there? So just get used to that feel of rise and rotate. See if you can hold that finish position. I think there's so much good to be done from just getting used to what it's like to make those punchy half shots. So I'm hitting a 7-iron there that's flying out at 110, 115, finishing out this at 125. If I was working on this in my own game, how would I process this? Now, it could be your chest just moving up. It could be that you're just trying to stretch your lead side from your lead hip to your shoulder, so you feel like the rib cage there are extending. For me, personally, I think I would focus on my lead shoulder. That's the one that's closest to the target, so my left shoulder. And I would just simply try and get my lead shoulder, my left shoulder moving up and turning. But it doesn't really matter what that focus point is to you. I do the drills, I do the exercises, and then try and say, well, how did that feel? How did I achieve that? What was that motion for me? So if I hit a couple of full ones here, just focusing on that lead shoulder and that body extending through impact correctly. Oh, I've hit that just a little left, but that strike was perfect. The body felt good. The distance, yes, I'm going to gain a little bit from hitting it left, but the distance was good. The speed was good. So anything around 90 miles an hour for me with a 7-iron's decent. The efficiency was good. I just had the club face a little closed, hence that slightly left shot. So the body movement, really, really good. See if I can do it again. Extend, rise and rotate. Yeah. So really feeling tall, I guess, for me, through impact, not staying down here, but allowing that body to rise. It might sound very simple. Watch how many golfers at your golf club stay down too long through impact. Look at their posture after they've hit the golf ball. And it's easy to see why so many golfers struggle with back issues. Allow that body to extend. You're going to control your low point, improve your strike, and definitely increase your speed, as well as helping out your body a little bit. No downsides to it. If the video does help, smash the like button. Don't forget to subscribe.